All right. Hope we get some people coming by here for my Facebook Live. This is really nuts. And it's almost like payback for some of these things. We'll wait till we get this populated. Okay, we got some people coming by. All right. Appreciate you swinging by. I'm going to talk a little bit about this. So I've heard just about everybody rant about Voice Bunny. And all of the rants against Voice Bunny are 100% legitimate. The quality control department is tough to keep up with. From what I understand, talking with a couple of people, including Anthony Pica about this, is that you can get some, if you use some plugins on Adobe Audition, they work pretty well as far as getting you through their quality control without any problems at all when it comes to Voice Bunny. Now, from what I understand, is that with Voice Bunny, if you are capable of being very flexible, you can get a ton of work if you're able to, number one, make it through their quality control with no problems. And like I said, there's a couple of plugins you can use for that work really well on Adobe Audition that gets you through. Hey, Paul, hope you're feeling better, man. I hate it when you get sick. Last year during the holidays, I really got really sick. Bug from my kids. It was last Christmas last year. And this year, I got really sick the day after Thanksgiving. So for some reason, it's just strange. And last year, it seemed like everybody was getting really sick. So I hope you're feeling better. But like I said, Voice Bunny, if you can deal with the headaches, and sometimes it's tough to deal with the headaches, and you're able and flexible to be on top of things and get things done, when they send you their speedies and they have their contests that they put together and the auditions. There are some benefits to it, and I just ran across a benefit today, and this was really wild. Now, I think when you're noticed on the bookings, they lower the bar a little bit. They're not as ridiculous about the bookings. They're not giving you a full anal cavity search when it comes to quality control when you have a booking. Now, a booking on Voice Bunny is when they are checking out your samples, so they reach out to you. And my Morgan Freeman thing is kind of a craze, I guess. I don't know. And I've got some ones that are starting to get noticed. And there's certain people that really like that. They want that for something. Now, this has been pretty wild. So I came across one guy. I don't know what the deal is. I think this is for an office party. And this is for a company that deals with software or whatever. And for some reason, going through this guy's order, they showed all the orders that he rejected before coming to me. And they're all, okay, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work. And there's like 6, 7, 8 people. This is really bizarre. And I can see all the notes that he put. And I had a chance to listen to some of the examples. Now, some of the examples were clearly people that weren't really good at it. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying they're novices, and you can tell they're not, they're inexperienced with it. Okay, especially with the way they're read. It sounded like somebody reading the paper or whatever. But then there were some that were really good. So this guy was really super picky. So he told me what I wanted. So I gave him based on what he told me with the script. He had a lot of misspellings and mispronunciations for one. When it came to the bookings for Voice Bunny. And it was just, and so I was able to kind of smooth those over and just do the read, trying to figure out what he wanted. And so I did it, and he really didn't give any information about it. It was about 500 words. It was about, I don't know, $50. All right. And so immediately so I did the order. So, it seemed fine. So immediately, without any, reason or whatever, or why, he decided to cancel it and rejected the order. This isn't going to work. This is not what I'm looking for. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. But here's the thing with Voice Bunny. You still get paid for that order whether they accept it or not in a booking. Okay, when you have a booking, you're getting paid whether they accept it or not. So I found that very interesting. So, all right, so I get that canceled. It's not like and then all of a sudden he comes back and he wants to redo it after he's canceled based on another sample of mine. And so I guess I tried to change it up. He wanted more somber versus more lighthearted. And the first one, I couldn't tell what he wanted. He wanted it lighthearted or not. But he's not giving me any information. He wants me to read his mind. But the thing is, though, it's like, because Voice Bunny is so anal about, you not having access to the client whatsoever. You're not even communicating with them directly. You're not asking them questions. You're not. If you want to feedback or you want a clarification on something, you have to go through a Voice Bunny manager, and then they'll convey the information and come back to you. All right, and that's that. So he signed up again for another $50, right? And so I'm getting paid $100 for an order that this guy don't even want, right? That they're going to pay me anyway, whether he accepts it or not. And the second one, he's mad, and he's like, "Oh, there's too many pauses in this. This is like a William Shatner." He says, "This is more pauses in a William Shatner monologue." And you can just tell this guy's like this. I don't know. I can just imagine not a professional person, okay, with this order, but maybe excuse me if I offend anybody here. But probably some millennial with some big ring through his nose and, a tattoo of, a tattoo with like 5-star tattoos right above his eyebrow or something. That's kind of who I'm imagining who this guy is, right? And so I'm thinking to myself, all right, whatever, man. And it's just like, because I'm not communicating with him. So he has to fight it out with Voice Bunny. And I'm just a number. I'm not even a name and a person. And that's one of the things about Voice Bunny is that you're just kind of, you really are a number and you get treated one, so to speak. But now it's just like, this guy don't know me. He's not going to say, boy, I'm never going to work with that Will Stoff again. I mean, because you're all on Voice Bunny, you're represented by a code, which is numbers and letters. So you're talking like, so if he's mad at somebody, he's not mad at Will Stoff. He's mad at JBCUT6A, all right, or whatever my stupid Voice Bunny code is. So he's mad at Voice Bunny themselves. So all that wrath is towards him. And I'm getting paid. So I got 2 orders that I did for him twice that he don't like, and I'm getting paid more for it. And it's just like, this is great. But now look, and I know that now maybe if they do stuff with your, but the thing is, Voice Bunny is strange. It's just like, I think they know that they have a game going on here. All right, and I think they know their quality control is ridiculous, and I feel bad for the people in quality control because I think eventually they're not going to have jobs because I think whoever's owning Voice Bunny is going to realize that we don't need these clowns. We really don't. We're just putting them up there for the sake of having quality control. And and it's just like, all right. I mean, there's so many orders out there from medium to large size companies that would probably not even notice half of the quality control standards that they have, as far as, I heard this little tick, and I heard, this audio wave is a little bit off, or this isn't working correctly, or this wasn't calculated. It's owned by Voices 1, 2, 3. Okay. It is, but Ben, even though it's owned by them, it is kind of like I mean, they are an island to themselves, aren't they? I mean, is the guy that's over Voice Bunny? I can't remember if he's from Colombia or whoever the heck is he from. Is that the same guy? Is he running two companies, or is that just kind of like a sister company? I don't know. And my allergies are kicking my butt right now. It's just season, so you got to excuse me. And so, so that's the way it is. So it's really wild. It's that. So I'm getting these two orders, and it's both rejected. The guy's not giving me any reason. I listened to it back. I think it's fine. I don't know what I'm missing. I mean, and when you start talking about, there was a comma here. Okay, there's a comma or a pause, and you're looking at like one little tinky pause. All right, so why don't you just give it back to me? And if it's a pause, I don't know if you heard about this, but it's like editing. I can actually take out that pause. Really? No, this pause is there permanently. It's totally destroyed the thing. Therefore, we need to reject it altogether and get rid of it. All right? I don't want this order. But it's just like, so I've made over $100 being paid the exact same thing because this guy got mad. He canceled. It's not, then anger's not, then he started to come back to me, And so there I am sitting there with over $100, I think it's a little bit over $100. And it's something that didn't go through. Now, according to their stats for Voice Bunny, maybe that'll go down in rank because he didn't accept it, right? And that's going to affect me. But Voice Bunny's it's one of these things where I'm not holding my breath. I really am not. And they do this in ebbs and flows because, like I said, I think they realize that they're not. I think deep down they're really not getting the orders that they want. And that review that you send, they send in the mail to you. They'll send you in the mail about the review of what happened today. You're thinking to yourself, okay, you have this huge, massive website with all these people from all over the world, with all these different languages that are all vying for these gigs or whatever, and you've only booked it's only like 30 gigs that are out there that have been booked. Maybe that's just in one category. I don't know. Maybe there's a category I'm not thinking of. Maybe it's just for my category, which is middle-aged male and senior for voices. I don't know. Maybe it's for that category. But still, even if it was for other categories, unless I'm assuming they have a lot of different languages out there that I'm not seeing. But it's still, it's got to be fairly relatively small compared to bigger sites like Upwork and Fiverr, which I understand now has that has offices all over the globe now. I think they have them in California. They have them in Israel, where Tel Aviv, where they originated from. They got a couple other ones in Europe or somewhere else or whatever. And they're just this huge gorilla in the room. And so, this is just like a tiny little drop. So what will happen is that, your rankings might go down based on something. I don't know. Maybe because you didn't get through quality control fast enough or enough times. But then what will happen is they'll bring you back. And it's almost like I've always, and I know this might be upsetting to some people because maybe they've experienced it, but it's true though. It's like this abused spouse relationship where they just really beat you up terrible, all right? And it's horrible. It's a dysfunctional relationship. And then you're out, okay? And then they'll bring you back in. They'll just they'll bring your stats back up. And that's exactly what happened to me because I was going through quality control one time, just like everybody else, just getting ding, 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 left and right. And I think at the time I didn't have my studio where I'm at right now, and I was trying to figure out the studio at the radio station, and KJ is watching right now, so he can attest to this because he works with me at the radio station where my microphone was really, really off, and that we needed a new microphone in that studio, and when you're dealing with trying to deal with Emma, turn that down, please. Can you turn that down?
Should I just dance in the room?
Go dance in the room. Do your thing, girl.
Where's Liam?
Liam's taking a nap because he got up early this morning with Mommy.
Can I go to Liam's room?
Liam's sleeping. I don't want you to wake him up with that stupid iPad and jumping around going crazy. Mommy's sleeping too, so she's taking a nap. So, but anyway. Hey, Anthony, how's it going? But no, seriously, so it's one of these things, but seriously, it's like an abused, abused spouse relationship or something, because, or a dysfunctional one, you know, they love you, and then they just totally, beat you up. And then all of a sudden, your stats get better, maybe a month or two later, and then all of a sudden you'll get orders again, right? And they'll do whatever you want me to do. Okay, you want me to delete all my samples that, there's one sample that we're not sure if it sounds like there's a little tick in there, or if there's one word, there's one, there's one syllable on one word where, it's down 2 decibels compared to the rest of the sentence, right? And only I don't know, and only maybe your dog could figure it out because he hears it at a different pitch than everybody else. But, so, let me see here. Ben says, keep getting kicked back on Speedy. Pretty sure they do it when they have had enough submissions. Never an issue with sound on direct booking, though. Yeah, I know, Ben. It's really... let me give you another example. I don't do more than 3 a day because that's when they get sick of me. It's all these things that maybe they're true or not. And Leela might be right. It's just like, I'm sick of dealing with you. Let me find something that's wrong. And they could easily do that, right? And help me if I'm wrong. And I may have heard of this, Ben. Maybe you might know about this. Is that, are they running your audio through some kind of software? Because my sense is I don't, and I've seen some of these people. It's just I don't get the sense that maybe they are truly audio engineers, okay, and they're professionals, and I don't know, or are they just running this through the software? The software tells them what the deal is with your audio, and they're going to base it on your software, what the software tells them. I don't know, but that's something that's interesting. So, but I mean, the thing is that I've gotten to the point now. It's just like I don't worry about them too much, and if they reject me, but I'll tell you what happened. They have notified me that it is an algorithm. They have notified me that it is an algorithm. Okay. That is the most they have ever approved me in a day. But Anthony has said it. They probably don't have a good way to reject, so they make up reasons. Now, here's the thing about the booking, and this is pretty wild here. And this drives me up insane. I don't know if it's a form letter or if it's just some guy who's just being a real wingnut. But now, I did one order where it was late, and I was trying to crank things out, and I was doing it super late in the evening, and so I did the whole order. It took me forever, and then immediately I got a voice bunny thing. You've seen these before. We want to make sure that we do what we do is absolutely flawless, we're making diamond rings here, right? I don't know. But just this big long email about how it needs to be flawless and perfect, and you need to come up to our standards, oh plebeian, oh little boy, or oh peasant, right? And I get one of these lofty emails from them. Let me take a look here. But they also do quality control tests as well. Okay, I'm wondering how that's all put together. I've submitted the same audio twice, kickback for noise, then. Yeah, but okay. This is Anthony. I was talking to people about this before here and now you've kind of spelled it out here. Then this is important. Adobe Audition. But ever since I started using NS1 and EQ and raising input on the hard limiter, I have not been rejected. Hard limit at -3. I do something. I have a limit. I'm using Cool Edit Pro, and I don't have that. Like I've told Anthony before, if I'm going to do a Voice Bunny long term, I am definitely totally going to get on board with Adobe Audition and sink my teeth into that and just do the 20 a month or whatever, and do it. So anyway, but getting back to what I was telling you about. So it was late at night, and I was putting together this order from Voice Bunny. It was a booking. and I was trying to get it done, and I had tons of stuff to do, and again, and all of a sudden I get the long lofty email, and it's just, and he goes, you need to go and back and do this because I hear this and da 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 da, and you know what I did? It's just like, all right, it was like for $40, but still, it's just like I said, you know what? I said, oh well, looks like your client's not getting looks like your client's not getting the order. Could you please go ahead and delete my account? If you could do that, that would be great, right? So anyway, my bookings have risen because client is starting to use me regularly on their thing. Okay. But so anyway, I was tired, and I was just like, I'm not going to go through this whole process again. Forget it. And I just went to bed. And the next morning, they're not saying, "Oh, we're going to delete your account now." Quality control. They were begging me, "Could you just please do it again, and we'll sail it through." I mean, they didn't say we'll sail it through, but but that's exactly what happened. I did it again. I did the order again, and it went through. And then I dealt directly with the client who I've dealt with before about what he wants, and he had some changes, some small. We got it done. It was boom. It was done. But it's just like that booking is like, that's where they're making money, and I know they're making bank. I know that. But they're typical. You just got to understand that they're just a typical site that is taking a percentage and giving you the rest, and they're taking a big percentage. But at least you're getting that client, and it's not bad money. You get enough of these orders, and you do well. But that's interesting about the bookings, though. You start getting bookings, and Anthony's right. You get regular clients, and this one that I had was a client I've had before. It was the same one. And so if you do get notice, and I think another thing too is when you start getting email notifications about clients favoriting something, okay, that means that there's a good chance that you're going to get an order pretty soon because of that. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, the week prior, somebody was favoriting my sample. But like I said, I think on one level, it's frustrating because you can't communicate with the client. They're not seeing you as a person. They're seeing you as a number. They're treating you somewhat as a number. But at the same time, the fact that they're protecting you if something goes wrong and you have a difficult client, you're getting paid regardless. If it sails through quality control, and usually they're going to go through quality control because they want that money. Because I think the speedies and the all little ones, and you're doing these little $10 things, and you're in a contest that, if you get the order, if you get the audition, if you audition, it's $5, and if you get the audition, it's 30. Those are small orders, and I think there's all kinds of people. Then that's when they can exert their massive control of quality control, right? And just hoard it over you. I guess, or lord it over, or however you want to say it. But I think when it comes to those bookings, though, man, I mean, they're gonna sail it through. They're not gonna give you a hard time because it's a booking. I think is a client that may be willing to spend a little bit more money, and they're seeking out the client instead of going through the speedies, instead of going through the contests, and usually those are lower price. Those are lower priced deals there. So, but at the same time, I think the speedies and the contests is an opportunity for you to get is for you to get noticed, and also for clients to view your orders because you're sending in more orders. And then they give you a review to collect more reviews. It's a good opportunity. So those speeds and contests, I think, are used for that purpose. And Anthony, like I think he told me, if you can sail through the quality control and you can find a way around it. And I mean, that's my next step here is to be doing Adobe Audition. And I've used Adobe Audition before, but it's been years ago at a radio station. So I'm not up to date, but a lot of the stuff is basic. There's a lot of basic things, but you just got to find out where they're at and how to use them, and probably just kind of get refreshed on it. So, and that's the other challenge. So, but I think if you use those plugins, man, I'm gonna have to go back through this, and I'm gonna copy and paste what Anthony just said. Angela, how you doing? Congratulations on hitting level 2 on Fiverr here, Angela, by the way. And I've heard some of your stuff on Fiverr. You got a great voice. Got an awesome demo. Looking good. You're on your way to the top. So, but Anthony, I'm gonna copy and paste what you just said there, so I have all that information at my fingertips with the NS1 and EQ once I get my Adobe Audition running. So, anybody newcomers, check the replay. But I mean, it's this whole situation here with Voice Bunny. I think there are some benefits to it, and getting paid regardless, especially on a booking. When you get a booking, it's nice. You're going to get paid one way or the other. Whether if the client's difficult, it's just like, well, that's their problem between them and Voice Bunny. I'm just a number, Let them fret it out with them, because I'm just a number. Are they going to be mad at Will Stoff and never use Will Stoff again? Or are they going to be mad at J69TUVX, which I guess is my which I guess is my code name. All right, or isn't? Don't they? Hey, listen, don't they assign you a number in prison? Right? That's what I'm going to get. Hey, wouldn't this be great? Is that I'm going to create some Voice Bunny shirts and have like the pinstripes on there, right? And have like the prison number, and that number is going to be the number that's my actual number, or my actual letter numerical my phrase or number, and I'm going to put that on there, make some Voice Bunny jumpsuits. How does that sound? I think that's great. But anyway, somebody's asking a question. Let me get that before we go. What's better in general, normalizing at -3 or hard limiting? That's a good question. I normalize, Anthony. I don't hard limit at all. I normalize, but that's usually and I break the rules here on Voice Bunny to some extent. I think now on Speedies I haven't, but because sometimes I can get through. Is that with I do provide like I do process the or what do you call it? It's on the tip of my tongue here. But actually process the file so it's even, which you're not allowed to do. But they don't notice. That's one thing they don't notice all the time. And mine is such a light one, okay, that they don't notice it. But I think that's one of the things they don't want you. They just want the raw audio. But sometimes you do raw audio, and then you're trying to get it to -3. And it's just like, well, you got to record at -12, don't you? Don't you have to record it? Like I try to record it where it's registered between -12 and -9, and then after I do some dynamic processing to even out the file, right? The reason is because normalizing you have to compress to raise up the low parts. Oh, okay. The reason is because normalizing is you have to raise. So let me see here. What's better in general, normalize. So what are you doing now, Anthony? You just wrote it down, but do you do hard limit? But you're hard limiting. You're not normalizing, right? So anyway, David was Washington. By using hard limiter, you can raise the audio and limit how loud at the same time, and you don't degrade the file. Okay, I might give that a shot. All right. Excuse me. But that's what I got here for you guys. Voice Bunny, if you're able to deal with the headaches and overcome the headaches, you might get rewarded from it, and it might be a good source of income. And at the end of the day, it's about pleasing clients, right? It's not about pleasing Voice Bunny. It's about creating orders. It's about generating income, and it's about bettering yourself. Isn't it true? It's at the end of the day, it's about bettering yourself, bettering your voice, making more. I only do this for Voice. You only do this for Voice Bunny, okay? I will try that because I've been doing that. Now, Anthony, are you using just? Let me ask you this: are you just using your raw audio for Voice Bunny, or are you adding any processing at all to it? I know that you're not supposed to, but I mean, sometimes you can get away with it. But are you doing any of those things? The difference between the two is obvious in listening. So I'll try to figure it out. I think that's a good tip. That's an awesome tip, by the way. So anyway, I'm wrapping it up. But like I said, guys, at the end of the day, if you can overcome the headaches of Voice Bunny, you could generate your income. You could get some more samples, which are always great. I think the good thing about Voice Bunny, there's a lot of work out there that you can look at. There's a lot of samples that you can put together. You can look at other people's samples, get an idea of some good stuff to put in a demo. IEQ and hard limit and raise the input. Okay, equalize, hard limit, and raise the input. And when you say that, that's for voice buddy, correct? IEQ, hard limit, and raise the input, and that gets you through. They don't say, "Hey, you did this to the file," but you're able to. You do that when you're in the contest, when you're doing the speedies, when you're doing all those things for voice money. Is what I'm assuming, right? Okay. All right, guys, I appreciate it. I got some work to do, and my wife's taking a nap. And when she wakes up, she's gonna want some help around the house, which means I need to get in the studio and get cranking. Awesome. Guys, appreciate Anthony. Always good info, man. Thank you so much. And have a great afternoon.